What's going on, Mama? As you can see behind me, yeah, it's still here. I know. But let me tell you. So we put this thing in last week and done our 30-minute, I think it was last week, done our 30-minute run with the new brake-in oil. I don't have any of it down here. It's can't think of what you call it now. Thought I had a bottle laying out. But anyway, we run the brake-in oil in. Calls for 30 minutes run. Dump it. New filter. 5 new quarts of oil. Then drive it 400 miles. The oil is called Driven. At Poteet's, they recommend using that as the brake-in oil. And Dylan had done some research and said it was really, really good stuff. And then he noticed yesterday that Cletus McFarland, he had tried it and it really works good. But anyway, so everything was going good. And then Dylan looked under the car. Yeah. It got pretty sad then. So this is the rear main seal. For those of you that don't know, goes in like that. I grabbed the wrong thing. I thought it looked funny. That was gaskets for the oil pan. This is the rear main seal. Slides in the crank. I'll use this oil pan seal for demonstration. You got your piece that's in the block and your piece that's on top of the crank, and then your cap goes on it. But instead of putting them in like that, it's supposed to be clocked so that you don't have a seam right there where your cap sets down. So anyway, we are leaking. We are leaking. On the Ford, you've got your transmission, and then you've got your motor plate, engine plate, that the starter and all goes into, and it bolts, sandwiches in between the engine and the transmission. So we took the 3 bolts out of the bottom of the plate so that we could pry it open. There's no oil on the back side of the plate, like into the clutch area. It's on this side. It's running down the plate up above, like where our oil pan is at. So our oil pan gasket's not leaking, praise God, which I guess that would be a better fix if it was, but it would be on me if it was. But anyway, we're not so sure why it's leaking at the rear main seal, but we're going to take you along. Number 1, just to show it. Number 2, for documentation. We're going to get this thing raised up, get the transmission all slid back or out of the way. Probably have to just take it out of the way. I'm hoping that we can just take the starter off and possibly this one header on the passenger side. That's the easiest one, because the one on the driver's side is the one with the Z-bar and all that comes up through the header, and it is really, really tough. So if we can take the passenger side one off and the starter and the exhaust off of that side, and that transmission will slide back without having to take this other header off, then we'll be in there then, because then we can access our flywheel and get the flywheel off and pull that cover off and see exactly what's going on. So y'all stay tuned. Do y'all have trouble like this at y'all shop? For any of you that watch that has shops, let me turn you around, show you. See down there? See that Chevy truck? me zoom you in where you can get a real good look at it. All right. For those of you that has been watching the channel knows that it was ready, but the heater core was leaking. Let me just show you. Instead of talking about it, let me just show you. So yesterday, we got it out. Let me zoom you back in. Yesterday, we got it out, and I'm not knocking this guy, okay? But you can see where he, let me see, get you focused here. You can see where he had soldered that pipe. Okay, you can see where he soldered it all the way around, except for that section right there. Well, guess where it's leaking at? It's leaking at that section right there. That's where the crack is at. So I'm not saying that he didn't test it or pressure test it like he told me. He is sending me a new one. Y'all, those things are $300. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. $300. So, but anyway, I told Dylan, I said, he soldered everywhere except right there, and that's where it's leaking at. But anyway, if he don't want this one back, I'm going to do a video on how to, this thing is wanting to act crazy this morning. I'm going to do a video, there we go. I'm going to do a video on how to clean all of this up. And I used to be in heating and air, and all that is copper. So should be able to take silver solder. Silver solder is a lot better for copper than this old whatever he used. I'm not so sure. But anyway, y'all stay tuned. Check out what happens with this Mustang. All right, let the games begin. It's been sitting here for a week. You can see where it had dripped right there. And it's still slightly wet right there, but it up inside, it was coming down from in between that blue cover and the oil pan. So stay tuned. We getting ready to take it apart. All right, Mama, we got the exhaust off this one side, but have you ever pulled a transmission, a automatic or a 5-speed, 4-speed, 3-speed, whatever, they leak? You know, they're half full, they're full up to there on fluid. Well, this stuff is fresh and it's hard to suck out. We do have a way to get it out, but it takes time. So Dylan seen online where you can buy those right there. What is that? Well, let me show you. Look. There you go. Transmission and transaxle plugs. All different sizes, Mama. Yeah, you're seeing it right. They've got these. I didn't know that. Did you know that? Nah. There's some of you that didn't know it. But anyway, those were from O'Reilly for less than 15 bucks. 14 bucks, I think. But anyway, it plugs off and seals just like what the drive shaft would. Keeps it from running out. Saves the mess on us, saves the customer money to keep from having to drain it out, and saves time and labor. I mean, for 15 bucks, you can't beat it. All right, Mama, as you can see, oofta, more metal. All right, we just got that off. Take us a rag and clean all that up to keep it from dripping in her hair. Oh, that's funny. I ain't got any hair. Anyway, we'll get this gasket and all cleaned off. Oh, that thing's stuck. We use Right Stuff. And I'm here to tell you that stuff works good. Overlook the mess, Mama, because we have got too much going on. We're fixing to see what's in there. Yeah, pack it with that rubber hammer right behind you. The gasket we got in there. Only thing holding it's the right stuff.
Got one on there.
All right, Mama, check that out. A lot of gray silicone. Let me turn this light off. Might be able to see it more. A lot of silicone right where that seal was sitting at. Let me get y'all in here a little bit more. All right, turn it. Now, y'all tell me, bleep bloop down in the comments. I done cleaned off 2 sections. Tell me what you think in the comments. Would that have caused my seal, turn it around a little bit more till it stops? Alright. I'm thinking, Mama, that wouldn't that have made my seal, every time those bumps run through, wouldn't it have kind of opened the seal up a little bit to let a little bit of oil out? I mean, you can honestly see right there is where the seal sets at. And we've already pulled it out. But all those bumps right there, I mean, look, that stuff is stuck, Mama. I believe that's what it was. Y'all drop it down in the comments, all you engine builders. There's got to be an engine builder that's watching this. Thank you. All right, Mama, we got us some plastic gauge. Went to 2 good known sources, and they told us to clean up and plastic gauge that. And let me show you what we got going on here. So both guys, I mean, if you'll look real close, you can see that the brass is already, if this center was 6 o'clock, then at 5 o'clock, you've got brass showing. All right. It's just on that one edge, that right side. So the engine builder told me, not the guy that built the engine, but another guy that I went for a second opinion, he said that where they had put the RTV on the back corner of the cap could have been what misaligned it. But he said, clean it off, lay a piece of plastic gauge across there, torque it down, pull it back off, and see if the plastic gauge is wider on one end or not. And he said that'll show if there's a misalignment. If there's misalignment, that thing would have to be line bored. And to line bore it would be completely to take it back apart. So stay tuned. We're going to come in the morning, Lord willing, and get some plastic gauge fixed, and we'll carry you along for the ride.